Do you think you could tell us a little bit more about why you think psychedelics work so well in treating addiction as opposed to other methods? What is the most commonly prescribed method for treating addictions? Is it just the detox?
I think kind of the 12-step program and kind of derivatives of the 12-step program are the most common way of treating people, which is abstinence-based. And if you look at meta-studies, so studies of studies, those 12-step programs really don't show much more than a 10% success rate, if that. So something like ibogaine with anywhere from a 40 to 60% success rate, it kind of blows those other addiction statistics out of the water. Right. So psychedelics in general, they really help to address the root trauma quite often, and it seems to be that the trauma seems to be the reason why people end up addicted to substances, because of these traumatic and painful feedback loops that people get stuck into. They just want to find a way to self-medicate those feedback loops. Mm-hmm. And psychedelics seem to have a way, in their own way, of helping people address those issues. So, for example, maybe something happened when you were a kid and your mom really hurt your feelings somehow or hurt you physically somehow. And then you can take a substance like these, and oftentimes people will go back and re-experience those traumatic events, but maybe from a third-person perspective, and they can see it in a different way. And you can be like, oh, I can see mom was actually having a bad day there. Oh, mom was having a bad week, a bad year.
Right.
And through that greater insight, a forgiveness process happens, and say, actually, I don't have to hold mom completely responsible for that anymore. Mm-hmm. And as soon as that forgiveness process happens, the slate gets wiped clean, and then that traumatic feedback loop doesn't play in the way it used to.
Right.
Ibogaine itself does something to address the opioid receptor specifically. So normally if somebody gets physically addicted to opioids, it's not like other substances that you get addicted to. When you're addicted to opioids, your body's own pain-killing mechanisms shut down. So when that pain-killing mechanism is shut down and then you take away the opioid, there's a certain pain that gravity, brings to your life. My leg's falling asleep right here. So imagine if I didn't have my natural endorphins kicking in to help that process, I would be in a lot of pain. And that's what happens to people when you pull out those opioids. Just the pain of living is unbearable. And they know that all it's going to take is one more hit and that pain will go away for a few minutes. So ibogaine is remarkable in that it seems to kind of scrub that opioid receptor, bring it back to an opiate naive state so that they don't have to go through that painful withdrawal process.
Right.